Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome back to yet another interesting discussion on a case study done on the success story in voice by Instramatic. Let's start by welcoming our speaker for the session, Simon Dunlop, co-founder and international BDD Instramatic. Simon, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to participate in this conference. So let me start with an introduction and overview of what this ad format is. It's something quite new. It's been in the market now for just a little over 12 months, but we're seeing some really fantastic results. So as you said, I'm a co-founder of Instramatic. Instramatic is a voice dialogue marketing platform. So what do we mean by that? Well, basically, we have a technology which enables people to speak with ads, so that when you hear an ad which is relevant and engages you, you can engage with it and say anything that you want, and that the copy for the ad can respond accordingly. So this is really the story of how voice AI technology fundamentally changes marketing. Marketing hasn't changed much in the last couple of centuries. It's really it still has been and still remains a linear monologue. So this is where a brand creates a 30-second story and then distributes this over video, over audio, over social media, and chases users with the same ad across the internet. And we know what happens with that is, as we get chased more and more by ads, we feel overwhelmed, we stop engaging, we develop what we know as ad blindness, we use ad blockers, we switch channel, and the knock-on effect of this is that there's lack of engagement, which results in lower ad yields for brands. And with lower ad yields for brands, what do brands do? They buy more ads. What do publishers do? They increase ad loads, and this leads to a race to the bottom, this vicious circle where users are engaging less, advertisers are increasing ad loads, publishers likewise, and the effectiveness is lost. But this is really what's one of the main factors that's driving this is that we simply don't know in most cases why a customer is not engaging with an ad. There's no visibility on what happens in 99% of cases when somebody didn't click on an ad. We know what happens when they do click or do engage, but when they don't, we have no idea. Well, the good news is that voice AI technology and voice interfaces enables a complete reboot and reinvention of the advertising experience and shopping experience. And let me tell you what this sounds like. So imagine you're listening to your favorite music streaming on a platform like Gaana, who happen to be our partners in the Indian market, and you hear an ad from Starbucks, and the ad goes something like this: "Hey, this is Starbucks. How would you like to try a hot cup of coffee for free the next time you go to Starbucks? Just speak after the beep." We then release a beep. We open a microphone. And we listen for any kind of response. And the response could be, "Hey man, that sounds fantastic. I'd love a free cup of coffee next time I'm there." In which case the creative adapts accordingly, leads to an action which could be, we're sending a promo code to your phone now, just show it to Starbucks the next time you're there. And this is a really interesting situation, which creates real value for all of the stakeholders. So if you're the listener, you've just had a shorter ad experience, maybe a 10 to 15 ad spot rather than a 30-second spot. It's relevant, it's tailored, and it's interactive. If you're the brand, you know that somebody is engaged. You can see in a transparent way how they've responded, and there's a call to action embedded in the ad. But even more interestingly, we then know what's happened in the case where somebody has responded negatively. So if we take that Starbucks ad, imagine the listener has said, "Oh man, I hate coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. Forget about it." In which case the ad would return the user to music, say, "Okay, that's Starbucks. Have a great day. No problem." And the next time that we engage with that user, could be several days later, we can adapt the creative according to what's happened the first time that listener engaged. So the next time Starbucks interacts with that user, it could say, hey, this is Starbucks again. We know you're not a coffee drinker, but we've got some great new flavors for chai latte. How would you like to try one of them? And so the concept of moving the conversation or creating a conversation as a dialogue rather than a monologue opens all sorts of new storytelling tools for the advertiser, for the marketer, that create a more intimate experience with the consumer at scale across mass marketing channels. And that's something that becomes really incredibly exciting and opens up all sorts of new opportunities. So before I move on to the case study, I just want to share some research that we did in the US with Mindshare a little bit earlier this year, where two big takeaways were. One is that the voice ads drive much higher brand recall in listeners. And that's, I think, because of this phenomena where when we say something out loud, we tend to follow through with our actions, and our commitment to what we said is much greater. So recall is higher and engagement is higher. But the second point that came out of this study is that users report voice ads as being helpful and exciting compared to video and compared to audio ads. And that's a natural thing to understand, because voice is the most natural way to communicate. And these ads are very empowering, because in the case where you want to engage, you can unpack the ad and you can get more detail and more relevant information. And in the case where you don't want to engage, you're able to skip and go straight back to what you were listening to. And that also enables, in the case where somebody really doesn't like the ad and says, this is completely not relevant for me, it means that advertisers can save money and not chase that consumer across the internet and continue to spend money where it's not needed. So I want to now highlight a case study with HP that we ran at the end of last year and beginning of this year. So together with OMD, they ran 4 voice ad campaigns. So Christmas, New Year, gifts for men. This was in Russia. So Men's Day is on February 23rd and Women's Day on March 8th. And a 4th one for HP Ink Tank. And in these examples, the goals were targeting listeners of digital audio streaming and engaging them in dialogue with the brand, to attract users to the advertiser's mobile web landings. So that was the action. When interest was shown, a website page was opened, and each of the campaigns had their own audience targeting metrics embedded. So the first campaign read something like this, where an audio tease was launched, where we would use different creatives, such as, hey, did the kids use all of your ink printing kitty pictures? You tired of crazy high prices and expenses around printing? Do you want to know a secret of how not to go broke while printing? And various others, kind of engaging introductions and teasers to the main ad. And then we would ask for a response, open a microphone with a beep, which drives this a very instinctive response, which is, okay, I'm now expected to respond and to say something. And then in the case of where there was interest, we would lead to a mobile landing with more details about the offer. And in the case where there wasn't, we repeated the brand name and then handed back to the audio content. And the results of this were impressive. So we saw engagement rates of 13.11%. And of those that responded, interest was at a level of 27%. So the next campaign that we ran was Gifts for Men, with something like, hey, socks, razors, hammer, I'm sorry, do you know how to make a great surprise gift? Check out this new HP gift. And then in the case where there was a positive response, there would be a web page for the HP Ink Tank with a specific price promotion around the date. And again, in the case where there was silence or there was no interest, we would repeat the brand name, the advertiser name, and then hand back to music or to the audio content. And in this case, we saw, again, these were pilot campaigns. So at the end, I'll tell you where this is scaling up to. So in this case, we saw engagement rates of 10.36%, but of that, nearly 45% of responses were positive and led to the targeted action. So click-through rate, you can see, is at the level of around 4% for this. Then the third campaign was a similar campaign, but for women. where we were finding, OMD were finding an interesting approach for Women's Day to avoid like the typical gift of flowers, but to play on the idea and concept of colors, and that, you know, an HP printer would deliver what a woman wants with colors on Women's Day. And if interested, it went through to a special Women's Day promotion, and if not, again, we repeated the advertiser's name and handed back to audio. And in this case, we had, you know, engagement rates at the level of 8.6%, and interest expressed and a click-through of 26.49%. And the fourth campaign was a more general. Do you want to print your favorite photos from your smartphone comfortably without leaving the home? Let us know after the beep. And then just to, you know, to clarify here, when we're listening for a reaction, that could be any reaction. I mean, that could be, I love it, I hate it, I'm busy now, and any manner of nuances in between. We identify for that, and we're able then to understand and interpret the intent, and to deliver the content, the next segment of content according to the intent analysis that we've made. And in this case, we saw engagement rates at a level of 18.09% and interest expressed at 28.66%. So where this led to, so the results, we're now gearing up for a very large and much broader mass campaign happening later in the year, which will be a new year campaign with HP. And what characterized all four of the campaigns that I just described to you, these were all the most simple form of a voice ad, where there is a tease, there is a response, and then there's a customized content. But where this moves is into what we call continuous dialogue ads, which, going back to the Starbucks example, this is where, according to the interaction and the response of the listener to the first ad, the next ad that we deliver, which could be several days later, it could actually be on a different audio publishing platform, where we have a user ID and we've understood how the response has gone, that then the campaign is adapted accordingly, and can be completely different. And then what this does in a very effective way is it means that we don't, as marketers, we don't have to bombard the same listener with either inappropriate ads or the same ad content. So we can adapt accordingly. We can record and prepare, several different teasers. And a good example of this, I'm going to share actually from a different case study that we've done. So in this second example, the case study was carried out with Infiniti Cars. This was one of the first pilots that we ran for continuous dialogue campaigns. And in this case, we were inviting listeners to test drive a new Infiniti car. And what's very interesting here, that of total responses, of total listeners rather, 19% engaged, and engagement here is a recognizable response that could be either positive or negative. But of all of the listeners that heard the first campaign, 45% of listeners that heard the first campaign also engaged in a second conversation. And then really of interest is this final figure, which is 5.5% of people that had declined the initial offer, that heard the second offer, changed their mind, responded in a positive way to the second dialogue, and clicked through to a mobile landing, which included a full, in some cases, a full video advertisement for the car, or to an offer page where they could then book a test drive for the vehicle. And this shows what the direction that this technology is moving in, which is multi-interactive engagement across time and across platform, which really puts a super powerful suite of new tools in the hands of the advertiser. So I think at this point I wanted to play a video, but I think we're a little bit stuck on video. So I wanted this point to wrap up and to hand over to a Q&A session, and take any questions from the audience at this point. So just reading here.
Hi.
Yeah, hi there.
You want me to read them aloud?
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great.
So question one is how important has it become for the brands to include the humor and emotions into their advertisements while connecting with the consumers?
Yeah. So what we found is that when you're using voice ads, a more direct approach is better because you're having a conversation. So a conversation doesn't need to necessarily be humorous. So in the first instance, it should be conveying information, and it should be fairly direct and to the point. We've seen a range of, and we have seen some emotion and humor campaigns, but this tends to be most effective without the kind of typical bells and whistles that you might hear in an audio campaign, because it's a conversation. So people you don't want the distraction of background noise or, I don't know, storms and thunder in the background. You really want to just be able to hear a voice and to be able to engage with it. And also bearing in mind that the idea here is that the tease is quite short, so you need to get to the point in a relatively short period of time. Yeah, so I think we'll come on to these, and what I've described here. I've described two variants of this, so which is one is in the first instance the quite short dialogue, and the second is the continuous dialogue. So I can see that there would be strong applications for humor in a follow-up interaction with a user that's already heard from the brand in the first instance.
Thank you. Second question is, based on the study with Mindshare, what was the impact on the current brand association and the message association for the brand?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have the details of that, but I'm happy to share a link to. We can share a link in the meeting notes to the study.
Thank you. Third question for you. Since Instramatic has been working with the Indian companies like Ghana, how can the voice interaction be used effectively in various regional languages, especially in rural areas of the country?
Well, so this is a very good question. So as far as I know, there are 120 languages in India, and that's not even counting dialects. So this is going to be a tough nut to crack. Currently with Ghana, we have voice ads are live in English and in Hindi, and the plan is to introduce Tamil a little bit later this year. So it takes some time to train up the AI and to really make sure that the identification and the accuracy is high enough to create a very natural conversation. So I think that we'll get there, but by the end of this year, we'll have 3 languages. I do understand that in order to have full coverage for the Indian market, you need to go a lot further than that.
Okay, thank you. So Simon, we're almost up on with the time as well. So I would like to conclude the session by thanking you for being here and making the conversation super exciting. And I would also like to thank our sponsors, ShareChat, Telesign, Blind Digital, and Nielsen. Thank you. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much.